Hello, welcome back to Mart's garage. I've been doing some work and some of it I haven't recorded, so I'd like to just bring you up to date on some of the things I've been doing. I don't know if you can see, but on the block there, can you see that there are 4 liners on this bank? And there's 4 liners, you can't see it, but I'll tell you, there's 4 liners on the other bank as well. I went and bought 4 more liners. I bored the block, and me and my mate, we fitted 4 more liners, and everyone just went bang, straight in, straight down to the bottom, didn't have to hit them. So that's good, isn't it? So we're kind of getting that process sort of sussed out now. I left this one in the box. It's wrapped up in paper as well. So where's the chamfer? This end's the chamfer, so this is the top. I'm hoping this will just drop straight down. You ready then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, look at that. Is that how it's supposed to go?
Fucking hell, no it ain't. It's gone too far.
Has it? It has, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whack it up quick.
Oh.
Can you though? Or has it shattered the
It's bust the ring in it.
It's lost the chamfer off, has it?
No it ain't.
Oh,
It's fine.
must just be a bit
I've got a shallower chamfer than on the other ones.
It must just be a shorter
Jeff,
liner.
I put a shorter chamfer on this one.
Yeah.
The ring at the bottom, it's right down to the minimum.
You took the ball bar further down.
Yeah.
It's just right, that, isn't it?
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa, I thought it wasn't going to go then. Bloody hell, mate.
That went in well, didn't it?
Yeah. Whoa, I had me doubt then. You can see why you need a substantial ledge on the bottom, because that really goes slamming down, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, when that first one went down, I thought, he's broke it off.
I thought I'd bust it off, didn't you? But you see that's just a little bit higher than that one,
yeah.
but lower than the others.
Yes.
That's no good. I'll put Hylamar on instead.
It just froze, didn't it?
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
I'll give it a knock. I'll give it a knock. I think it's in.
Pushed all the Hylamar out anyway, didn't it?
Has it?
Yeah.
That way. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It will there, won't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's not much of a gap, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it is down. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, lovely! Look at that.
That's nice.
Brilliant. Look on, Diff. Come on, Diff. We didn't use the jack.
No, we didn't, did we?
No. Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I'm going to take that glove off.
How hot that block is, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Serves me right for using a second-hand glove. Right, I'll just do a little piece to camera. Here we go. Here we go. 2 more liners in, that one and that one. These are the ones done before. These have just been done today. And 2 new ones went in on this side yesterday. So all 8 liners are in place now. So next will be boring to size. a size that I haven't yet decided on. So all good progress made. Much thanks to Jeff.
Wielder of the heat gun.
Yeah, the wielder of the heat gun. And the other thing I've done is, there's a piston, look. This is a French piston. It's a 15th thou over piston. Because I lined all the bores, I didn't have to try and use those 45 thou pistons that I was going to try to use. So I've gone to 15 thou because this is a nice set of pistons here. And it says on them 0.38, 0.38, and it's upside down, but there, pointing towards this end of the piston, is an arrow with Avant written on it, which I'll try and move it to different angles, but you probably, this camera ain't very good at picking up small stuff like that. I've modified the pistons because these pistons have a pointy dome, so I've trimmed the dome down in the lathe, and I can insert a little clip of that to show you. Can you see this piston? Can you see the dome on it? Can you see the dome is dome shaped? Right? Can you see that that is like a more or less constant radius there? This is a French piston. Can you see a difference in the dome? That it's kind of pointed like that. There's like this bit, I can feel it more than anything, but I can feel it there. Now when I ran the French pistons with my Offenhauser heads, this point, what I call a pointy dome, hit and caused it to knock when it was revving. So what I've done it on the others, is I've just smoothed this off with a file, and I'll get set up and I'll show you how I did it. Now this isn't great because the jaws of the chuck stick out a bit, so you have to be really careful. And you know, aware of sleeves and your own mortality basically. I've got my sleeve buttoned up, it's not flapping loose, and I'm very aware of the chuck jaws, so I'm kind of doing a practice run there. Then I've just got a bit of emery cloth. If you kind of do it and put your finger on it as well, the oil from your finger kind of leaves like a reasonable finish. Always take the chuck here. So that is now, I've flattened the dome off now and made it a little bit more like the shape of the standard Ford piston. Hopefully you can see that. And just polished it a little bit. I needed rings for 2 of these pistons, so I've took the rings off a set of 30 thou pistons and gapped them to suit in the bore. And these bores have been bored to suit these pistons, and you can see that that goes in there. So I didn't film the boring because I have filmed other boring, yeah, pun intended, you know, other boring operations. So it would have just looked exactly like it did before. But so those are bored to 15 thou. I've chamfered these using this tool, and I use both hands and drag it round like that, and it makes a nice job of chamfering it. So that worked really well. I've bought these a set of these, and I'm going to use these to trim this in my die grinder. I bought a die grinder. I'm going to use that to trim these, and that's the next thing I'm going to do. It came in a set of, you could buy 4 and you had to say which ones you wanted, and there was 3 to choose from, so I've got those ones there to have a go with. You've seen me do the seats. By the time the video comes out, you will have seen me do the valves as well, the valve adjustment. What I've also done, these rods, for some reason, I don't know why, I mean, they were all, you know, genuine Ford parts and everything, but these, the little end bushes, what we call the little end bushes here in England, were 4 thou under size. They fitted the pistons and everything, but they were 4 thou under. So I've had to bring them up to a nominal 3/4 inch to fit the pistons. The French pistons use imperial dimensions. They are bang on 3/4 of an inch. So I've had to bring these up from 4 thou under 3/4 to 3/4. And I did those using, I tried to hone them, but it was just taking so long. I ended up using a reamer, and I did it in the lathe. And I've got a little bit of footage which I can show you doing that. The trusty lathe is working again. My conrods, the small end bushes are, the risping bushes are too tight on the pistons. So I've got this reamer here. Got this piece of wood down below that it can pull against if it wants to. I've already run these through once, but they got quite hot and they're still too tight. So I'm just running them through again now that they're cooled down, and I can feel how tight it is by feeling the tension like that. You're supposed to hone these, but I haven't got any decent honing facilities. This is actually a hand reamer, so it's tapered at the end. But I've just, this is the 5th one I've done, and I've been experimenting on the first 4, and this seems to bring them just about right. I was trying to do it with a brake shoe hone, a brake cylinder hone, but it was taking forever. That's what you don't want it to do, is to dig in at the end like that. Oh well. Can you see the fit? It's not like it's like a rough finish that's going to, you know, wear quickly. It's a smooth finish. Okay, that's 8. That'll do. That's 8 now that are okay. So I'm getting there slowly. So these rods could do with. I oiled them up the last time I cleaned them, so they can have another cleaning. And then they can get fitted to the pistons, and then the pistons are ready to go into the block. Not back in, because I've never been in, but the pistons are ready to go into the block. So that's good progress made there. So, other than a big, when I've done this on all of them, that is actually the machining finished. So then the block can be cleaned, washed, cleaned, and set up on the stand for. Oh, the other thing is I've got to clear the oil gallery way. So I bought a gun cleaning kit, would you believe? So I've got all various little brushes and things here. And I have got like a long gun cleaning kit. But there's a part missing and I can't actually attach the brushes to the rods. So I'm going to see what I can do to rig something up with these brushes and things. There's various brushes. So I'm going to use that for cleaning that main oil gallery. The other little job I did was to repair this plug. I chewed it all up trying to get the plug out. So I welded onto it and welded a nut on it, and it came out quite easily actually. Then I kind of trimmed all that off, filed it to shape and put a new slot in it and put it back in again. Because that's a special plug there, it's not just a standard plug. And somewhere I've got some photos of that which I can just insert here just to show you. So there we are, some good progress made. It's coming along. All the little roadblocks have slowly been moved out of the way. So I'm looking forward to now getting to the point where I can actually start reassembling this. I'll list out the roadblocks that I, with you as my, accompanying me. So what I've done is I've gone way over size on the bores to take the liners because of all that horrible damage to the bores. So that was the first roadblock, wasn't it? Getting rid of that damage to the bores. So I overcame that. The second roadblock, well, not roadblock, but the thing that wasn't sure was, is the crank going to be any good, and the bearings and the rods? Don't really know the answer for that till we try and run it. So, let's get that all assembled up, and when it runs we'll find out if they are okay. They have cleaned up sort of okay. I've done those in the lathe, cleaned them in the lathe, and I shot a little bit of footage of that as well. So if I haven't shown you that already, I'll let that in here. I've been polishing the crank, which I didn't film, but I thought, while Jeff's here, I'll get him to hold the camera and I'll just kind of show generally how I did it. That's what's good about having a nice big lathe like this. Not your normal home gamer sort of lathe. Right, 5 I'll just start it up at 320. So A, D, A, D. Bad choice. That's right, there was a slight foul condition. So that bolt head there, look. That bolt head was touching the crank. Right, I'll use this end one here because we've got a bit of sunshine. I just got it like this and gently polished like that. But I had it running a bit faster, let me bump the speed up. That's just to get the oil around the head a little bit. Right, 508 CD. It's better. You always hold the emery very lightly, because if it snatches you want it to just slip out your fingers. This is quite worn now, this emery, but it gives a nice finish. There are pits, but my view is as long as they're pits and not lumps, you're in with a chance. That's how I did the mains, like that. And you can see it's nice and shiny in there. I've polished all that up as well. But I'll show you how I did the throws. Oh, he's a good cameraman, Jeff. Right, hang on. You have to go low speed. A, F. And I'll put the stuff around before because it's a bit more awkward to reach around, and I'll run it in reverse. What I do, I just got it like that and polish like that as it's going round, and it felt kind of more natural in reverse because you're kind of pulling on that top stroke there. It just felt better, so it's a lot easier than doing it on the bench where you have to keep flipping it over and changing your angle. So that's how I've done all of the throws, and like I was just saying to Jeff that, you know, you could be here all day and you'd only take a thou off. Well, you could take some off if you really tried, but you're not taking much off at all. But it's also nice to see the crank in the lathe, isn't it, spinning round. Okay, that's that then. And what I'm going to do next is clean it generally. Oh, the other thing I did, I was lucky that I got this long drill. Funny enough, Jeff gave it me. But anyway, yeah, I'll just show it here, Jeff. I got this long drill and went down, you have to get the angle right, went down the throw like that, down the oil hole, like that, and I cleaned them all out like that. And the first time I did it, it was all full of clag, full of sludge. And then what I did, I got this one and countersunk them like that, and then I got this little brush that I used just like that and scratched all the surface. And then I used a bit of this stuff, you know, squirt, 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 and then blew it off with the airline. So, and I did that on all of them to get them nice and clean. Okay, so that's it for the crank, other than just general cleaning. That's going to do. Okay, thanks a lot then. I'll bring you back when I've got some more to show. Oh, it's great having a cameraman. Okay, thanks Jeff. The other thing is the cam and lifters. I have shot some footage, but I haven't put it out on video. I may have done. The cam actually cleaned up quite nicely. It was in nice condition. The lifters, all the exhaust ones from this engine were not great but usable, and I managed to scrounge together 8 more from another set. Sort of struggled a little bit, but I managed to find 8 others to put in for the inlets. So that's another roadblock out of the way. The cam lifters, I've done all the seats. That was another roadblock. Would they clean up? Yeah, they did clean up. And I've gapped all the valves. You know, how much can you take off a valve? Well, I took a lot off the valves, but still, they still will function. So that was another roadblock. A set of pistons. Yeah, I've got a set of pistons. Can we bore it to size? Yeah, we can. So that's bored to size now. So all these little roadblocks have all slowly been moved, pushed aside and moved out of the way. So the next stage, as I say, clean it up and then slowly clean each individual component and put it in. So I'll try and shoot some little bits of footage as I'm doing it, so that there's always something to show, something interesting. Thank you very much for joining me for this little roundup, and I'll bring you back when there's something more to show. Thanks a lot then. Bye.